This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Okay, so the Ring Magazine have released their new rankings up and down their weight divisions, of course, but in this video, as always, their heavyweight division. And one thing that I admire about the Ring Magazine is that they do actually give me direct feedback from time to time, which is great. Unlike the other four sanctioning bodies, WBC, WPA, IBF, WBO, of course I always do them each and every month in that as well, they don't. Now, I'm pretty sure I know why the WBC and the WBA don't, because they know that I know that they're either crooked or incompetent. Quite possibly both. Okay? But at least the Ring Magazine will respond to some of the critiques that I have, and they actually listen, and they will give me answers on certain things as well that I'll say about in the video. One of them, they've actually made the change for this month. I say this month, the last time they did these rankings was about 2-3 weeks ago. So it wasn't so long ago. So it's great that they actually keep on top of it. Doesn't mean that I'm always going to agree with their rankings. Of course not. Boxing rankings are, for the most part, subjective anyway. Okay, so I'm going to go through their new top 10. They have made some big changes. So good on them, right? So anyway, as I said, I'm going to go through their top 10. I'll point out the changes compared to 2-3 weeks ago. We'll see what fights recently happened, what fights are coming up, all that good stuff. Of course, I'll give you an overall review of what I think about their particular rankings as well. So if you are new to this channel, please click that subscribe button. It's free, it's brilliant. You're a boxing fan, so you should be doing that already, yes? Brilliant, thank you. Subscribe. Okay, so here's the new top 10 through the Ring Magazine, starting off with the Ring Magazine heavyweight world champion, Oleksandr Usyk. Number 1, Tyson Fury. Number 2, Deontay Wilder. Number 3, Anthony Joshua. Number 4, Zhilei Zhang. Number 5, Joseph Parker. Number 6, Philip Herkovich. Number 7, Jared Anderson. Number 8, Joe Joyce. Number 9, Frank Sanchez. And number 10, Otto Wallin. So that's a new top 10 for the month of October. Now, 2 people have been dropped. Number 5 last time out was Andy Ruiz Jr. He's been dropped. Number 7 last time out, Luis Ortiz, has also been dropped. It was Luis Ortiz was one of the main things that I was having a bit of a dig about. Because for me, Luis Ortiz, listen, he has stepped up very infrequently. He stepped up against Andy Ruiz Jr., lost. Stepped up against Wilder twice, lost. But he hasn't beaten anybody, not since 2015, since he defeated Bryant Jennings, right? So therefore, he shouldn't be in anywhere close to anybody's top 10 because he hasn't beaten anybody. And it don't even look like he's trying. So I agree with him being dropped. As far as Andy Ruiz Jr. being number 5 last time out to totally being dropped, well, there's a bit of a pattern here because the sanctioning bodies, all the other sanctioning bodies, have also pretty much done the same. So something's going on. Now, it's either inactivity, which should be fair dues as well, because last time he fought was last time Luis Ortiz fought as well, when they fought each other quite some time ago. So if it's inactivity as the reason why he's been dropped, fair dues. But there again, you could look at, say, number 2, Deontay Wilder. Well, he fought only a month apart from Andy Ruiz Jr., so shouldn't he be dropped too, if that's the reason? It could also be that there are reports flying around from Frank Warren and people at the PBC that Tyson Fury offered Andy Ruiz Jr. the fight. Andy Ruiz Jr. apparently wanted 20 million. Deontay Wilder apparently looked to fight Andy Ruiz Jr. Again, that fight was ordered by the WBC as well, and apparently he asked for 20 million. So in other words, he's asking for too much money, so therefore these fights ain't happening. Maybe the sanctioning bodies, the Ring Magazine and all the others looked at it and went, well, you just don't want to fight anybody. So what's the point of you holding up a ranking? See you later. Again, I'm guessing as to what the reasons could possibly be. Anyway, because Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz Jr. have been dropped, that means new inserts, right? Number 9, Frank Sanchez. Start off with him. Now, I don't agree that Frank Sanchez is a top 10 fighter. Not in the sense of potentially he is, in the sense of I don't think he's earned it. Meaning, he had a very good win over F.A. Jagba, but that was it. Since then, he's going backwards. He fought Daniel Martz and he's fought these kind of people. Last time out, he fought last weekend on the Canelo Charlo undercard against another puddin. He's fighting puddins. He's padding out his resume. So for me, for him to be ranked in the top 10 of the Ring magazine or any other sanctioning bodies, which of course he is as well, he needs to earn it. He needs to fight those around him. Not talk about fighting them, but actually fighting them. So right now, I don't agree that he is a number 9, in my opinion. Number 10, Otto Wallin. Well, he has fought Murat Gassiev last weekend, and he beat him. So that's a good win for him. On top of the fact that he took Tyson Fury to hell in a handbasket beforehand, and of course he got a decent-ish win, I suppose, over Dominic Brazil. And of course he did try to make the Dillian Whyte fight until Dillian Whyte got injured and whatever else. So he shows at least intent. He shows that he wants to fight. So you know what? I can agree with Otto Wallin being in the top 10. I think Jared Anderson, is ranked a little too high. Again, he got a good win over a couple of okay opponents, like a Charles Martin kind of level. Last time out against Rudenko, that was pathetic. I mean, that's way below a Jared Anderson. But Jared Anderson could potentially be one of the next big stars coming out of American heavyweight division. As I told Richard Torres Jr. in my interview only a few days ago, Americans are needed in the heavyweight division. So people like him coming through, which is great. People like Jared Anderson and whatever else. That's fantastic, right? So good. But I'd like to see him earn this position. I think number 7 is a bit high. My opinion. Some of you will agree, some of you will disagree. Now, we could argue with, say, Joe Joyce, the fact that he's been stopped twice in a row now. But you could also argue it was by the same guy. Okay? In Zhili Zhang. But beforehand, he has defeated a Carlos Takam. He has defeated a Down Dubois. These kind of people. So he's actually done okay. So again, you could say, yes, he's certainly a top 10, but some people would disagree with the fact that he's been knocked out twice in a row. There again, you could look at, say, Deontay Wilder. He's been knocked out twice in his last 3 fights. And he's very inactive. So there needs to be a bit of a balance with that one, for sure. Now, if you were going to drop a couple of people, I would probably move, certainly Frank Sanchez, I would move him out there. But it's a case of who would you put in there? Okay, I would probably look at, say, Arslanbek Makhmudov. Good win over Carlos Takam. Again, Makhmudov is still somewhat of a prospect. I did an interview with Makhmudov as well. Go check out that one. Quite recently, about 2-3 weeks ago. And no, I'm not being biased about it, but he did defeat Carlos Takam. And of course, he has defeated a Nigerian heavyweight as well. And his next fight will be on the Fury Ngannou undercard. Likewise, also on the undercard is Martin Bakole. Should Martin Bakole be in here? Some people will say yes, some people will say no. But again, for me, Martin Bakole, listen, he's got a good win over Tony Yoka. But there again, Carlos Takam beat Tony Yoka. Now, Martin Bakole is going to be taking on Carlos Takam on the Fury Ngannou undercard. Same card as Makhmudov. For me, it should be Makhmudov versus Bakole. In my opinion, right? But you could look at it and say, well, Martin Bakole is taking on Carlos Takam, a guy who Makhmudov is beaten. A guy who Joe Joyce is beaten. A guy who Anthony Joshua's beaten. A guy who Joseph Parker is beaten. I'm just looking at this top 10 here, right? So is Bakole going forward? Is he sidestepping or is he going backwards? Again, there's always going to be these kind of arguments. Now, of course, listen, we can put in a few more names if we really want to as well. But I think overall, they're not bad rankings. There's always going to be room for criticism, of course. My biggest criticism is Frank Sanchez on this particular one. And of course, with Jared Anderson, I think he's a bit too high in my opinion. But there again, you could look at it and say, well, why isn't Josie Parker number 5 when he got knocked out by Joe Joyce, who's ranked at number 8? Shouldn't Joe Joyce be above Josie Parker? It's a fair argument, isn't it? It is a fair argument. You could look at it and say, well, Zhili Zhang is number 4. Filip Herkovich is number 6. Officially, Filip Herkovich defeated Zhili Zhang. So shouldn't he be above him? There's always that way to look at it, but again, there's a lot more to it than just a win over somebody here and there. But anyway, I think overall, not bad at all. It is going to be interesting to see what Anthony Joshua does next, who's currently number 3. I would personally have him above Wilder. Am I being biased? Maybe. But he does have a much deeper and better resume than Deontay Wilder. He does. Okay, so in my opinion, he should be above him. On BoxRec, Anthony Joshua is above Tyson Fury. Is what it is. Anyway, That's my thoughts on these particular rankings. Of course, you all drop me yours in the comment section below. Do you like them? Do you not? Drop them below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.